As both Angela and I have repeatedly said, we want to see a diplomatic resolution to the situation in Ukraine.
The last time President Obama and German Chancellor Angela Merkel met to discuss the situation in Ukraine, there was general agreement on how to tackle the issue. But this time, there's a key disagreement.
They need more political support throughout the world. They need more military equipment, both lethal and non-lethal.
For God's sake, can't we help these people defend themselves?
The White House is thinking about arming the Ukrainians, which Merkel opposes. She suggested that would only make things worse by inciting Russia's Vladimir Putin and by making an already bloody conflict bloodier. Concern that's been echoed on the op-ed pages of some U.S. media, largely on the grounds that more weapons is likely to lead to escalation. The Brookings Institute's Jeremy Shapiro, for example, says Russia's interests in Ukraine are much greater than that of the U.S., both culturally and geographically, so the latter is likely to fight harder for the prize. It's worth noting that the Brookings Institute, however, also put out a report that recommended the U.S. government arm Ukraine's military. Ukraine only gets non-lethal aid from the U.S. right now. That includes things like first aid kits, radar technology, and body armor.
We need to support the Ukrainians in defending themselves.
President Obama's nominee for Secretary of Defense has said he'd support arming the Ukrainians fighting pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine. By most calculations, Ukraine is losing the war against the separatists, with heavy losses in the eastern part of the country. Ukraine will spend $5 billion on its military this year,
Показывает Москва.
while Russia has 16 times that in its 2015 defense budget, $81 billion. Representatives of Russia, Ukraine, Germany, and France will meet later this week for ceasefire talks in Belarus. There aren't many signs those talks will immediately be fruitful. For Newsy, I'm Christina Hartman.